also be later. So we're going to make sure we record this so they can catch the replay. First of all, I am so excited today because this is part 2 of our Be the Best series deep dive pre-record as we think about the big conference coming up. And I want to say, if you're joining me today, if this is your very first time, you are in for a treat because today is going to be, might be your day to get and receive some motivation, some inspiration, some clarity. And guess what? Somebody put, I'm linking up in the chat box. I need to link up. So let's start with that. Let's start with the good energy. We're going to ask you first, please let me know, where are you IWBC seeing from? So I want to see that in the chat box. Where are you streaming in from? How did you hear about us today? And I want to say we've had a number of new members join IWBCC just in the last 10 days. So I want to welcome everybody to our tribe and community, because if you ever needed a time to upgrade, today just might be your day. If you ever needed a moment, and I'm just going to ask you guys to mute yourselves for a second. If you ever needed a moment to say, wait a minute, how do I ensure that my 2023 is not going to look like my 2022? And I came to not only give, but I also came to also learn. Somebody put, that's me in the chat box. That's me, Dr. D. I came because I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to upgrade. And I want to say, every single one of you, if you tapped into today, don't leave the same. Don't leave without your notes being piled up high, feeling challenged, because that's what this pop-up is all about. And in our time together, we're going to hear from our spotlight speakers. I'm going to be talking to them. You're going to be able to hear from them, and make sure you attend our conference coming up December 9th and 10th. And of course, we have an Author's Day on the Sunday. So please make sure you put conference if you plan on attending. And I want you to know that if you ever needed a moment where you said, I'm tired of being isolated. Now, I like engagement too, so you can put this in the chat box. If you ever felt as an entrepreneur that you were isolated, you were in your basement trying to make it all happen, you were trying to be the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. You were trying to figure out how can you pay your bills and still have something left over. I mean, am I just talking to myself? You're trying to figure out, how can I do this and create authentic new friendships? Because let me tell y'all something, one of the fastest ways to grow both personally and professionally is to be around game changers. Somebody put game changers in the chat box. You know why these spotlight speakers are in here today? Because they truly are game changers. I mean, we have Teresa Noy, we have Andrea Crenshaw, we have Sandra Cheney, we have Sharon Fuertes, we have Kay Williams, we have Selena Teasley. And look, these women are off the chain in their own right. They're going to tell you things about upgrading your budget during the IWCC conference. They're going to talk about getting through healing and trauma. They're going to talk to you about finding money with a nonprofit. There's just so much I could talk about. And so, you know, and Nicole down here talking about copy and why you have to think about, you know, how your content in terms of the copy of it, how it prepared, how it looks. All of these pieces are what makes a thriving business, and you cannot do it by yourself. So before we get started, I'm going to let everyone, including if you're just a new visitor, because I love to welcome you today. I just want you to know, if you ever needed a tribe, say, I found my tribe. This is one of the most engaging, authentic tribes. And one of the things we always ask is that you are mindful in the chat that all of our conversation is about the topic at hand. And don't worry, during the conference, we are doing something new where we will have a spotlight directory, so you can reach back out to every single person you have heard today. So that's all I'm going to say for right now. Excuse me. I'm going to ask Pam to actually, because I know Pam is going to be giving us some announcements, some reminders. You guys give Success Team member Pam a virtual applause for being here today. Take it away, Pam.
Hi, good morning, ladies. Are you excited? Yes, I am too. Well, just have a few announcements for today. I thank you all for coming to the pop-up, Be the Best series. This is our second Spotlight Speaker series. The main thing I really wanted to express to all the speakers is that the t-shirts, please order your t-shirts by next week, because we want you all to receive them buy t-shirts or hoodies, but mainly I think Dr. D wanted everybody to have the t-shirts for photos. So but make sure that you place your order by the week of Thanksgiving, which is the upcoming week. And they will be reimbursed to you by the end of the month. Oh, you already have yours, Nicole. Awesome. Yay. Well, I'm happy for those who've already ordered theirs. And the next thing is that on December the 3rd, we will have a dress rehearsal for the conference. So from 11 to 12 a.m.
12 a.m.
I'm sorry, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pardon me. I used to work night shift for like almost 20 years, so pardon me.
That's okay.
So, but and also the agenda's online. The bios are updated. And I think that's pretty much about it, unless Dr. D has something she wants to input.
Yes. So Pam, if you can do me a favor and share the shop link on my website so people know. Also, if you're new to the tribe, go ahead and grab your tea. We're going to do a special upgrade photo during the conference, and we would love for you to also get your t-shirt. So make sure you can get your tee or your hoodie, which I love. It's so comfortable. Actually, I got mine 2 weeks ago. So they're busy creating. We would have blessed you guys with it, but it's just easier on the manufacturer's end for you to order, put your size, all that other stuff. All right, so make your order. Kay Williams, you made it. Yes, our legal star is in the house. I'm so happy to see you. So y'all, so thank you so much. Pam, thank you so much. You know, it takes a team. Somebody put that in the chat box. It takes a team to really strive and to grow. There's no growing just by yourself. It takes a team of people, because we got introverts, we got extroverts, we got doers, we've got people who observe, and guess what? Every single component of those behaviors are important. So I want to welcome you to today. And like I said, I want to give you a chance. First, I'm going to ask our guests to introduce themselves. Tell us where you're from. I'm going to call you out, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're not showing, because I know Karen is new. She's all the way in Jamaica. I want to give her a first shot. You guys give Karen all the way in Jamaica a shout out. Karen, why don't you introduce yourselves to us, a new Spark member? Can you hear us?
Good morning, everyone. Sorry to be off camera right now. I'm Karen from the beautiful island of Jamaica, and I'm looking forward to being a part of your exciting community, learning from you as I grow.
Yeah, so happy to have you. And Karen, how long have you and I been engaging?
I think it's about 2.5 years this year.
Yes.
And trust me, she never gave up on me, and I'm very grateful to her for sticking in there with me.
That's right. So this is the tribe you want to be in. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let me call on. I just want to make sure we didn't. Trina, introduce yourselves. You're new today.
Hello. I did scroll past your thing on Facebook, your advertisement on Facebook, and that's why I'm here today. Actually, I did this morning, so I thought this would be well worth my Saturday. I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am the CEO and founder of FemWork, which is an organization that helps build confidence for girls in high school.
Wow. Well, so happy you're here, Trina. You're in the right place. Welcome. And I want to make sure Latia Beantown is in the house.
Hi, everyone. My name is Latia, and I am from Boston, and I'm just excited to be here and to learn new ways to grow and having a new tribe.
I love it. Welcome to your tribe, Darnell. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Hi, my name is Darnell Thomas, and I'm from Boston, and I'm glad to be here. I thank you, Dr. Laney, for helping me, and in every way, shape, or form. I appreciate it.
I'm here. All right. Welcome. Welcome. And now, so I want to make sure, are there any other new people that I did not introduce before we go into the spot? Oh, Valerie, let's have you introduce yourself. Can you hear me, Valerie? All right. Well, we will come back to you. Okay. All right. Perfect. So let's get started today. Again, how many of you have your notebooks handy? You're ready to take some notes. All right. So I want to start off by discussing you know, Iwbcc, it stands for the International Women Build Confidence Conference, and we started all the way back in 2000 and hold on guys, we started in 2017. I went live on Instagram of all things, and there were just a few folks, and Pam was one of those people that saw me going live. She's one of my what we call UPML 7. So there were these 7 women that kept showing up. And we even had some people from, there you go, Pam, that's right, give the shout out, you were there from the beginning. And so I just want y'all to know, every entrepreneur had their day one. And from that day one, we grew to 12,000 social media followers across all social media. So that's LinkedIn, Instagram, all the different Facebook, all those platforms. And within that, we've given about 10,000 coaching hours to entrepreneurs like you, to leaders. We also have what I call entrepreneurs, people who are entrepreneurs in the workplace, so they work full time. And I want to ask you this question. How many of you are dreamers or plan to make an impact in what you do? How many of you are dreamers, or you plan to make an impact, or you showed up today because you know you want to get to your next? So I want to thank all of you for coming today, because today we're going to talk about what does it mean to be the best? What does it mean to overcome obstacles and challenge? So I highly recommend that if you're not a part of our Iwbcc community, Pam, if you can put the link to that Facebook group, that'll be great. So if you're new today, make sure you tap into our Facebook tribe, make sure you subscribe to our website so you keep getting aware of what's going on. So we formed in 2018, and since then, for the last year, we always do a conference. We always do the International Women Build Confidence Conference twice a year. And after the pandemic, you know, I can't, as a business leader, I saw so many business owners, some that owned restaurants, some that had thriving businesses, completely have to shift gears. And it really made me think, how did I want 2022 and 2023 to be moving forward? Now, somebody please put tech overwhelm in the chat box. Just put tech overwhelm. What I found was that there were so many small business owners, some women of color, you name it, from women from all over the world, who in the midst of trying to serve, they were like, I got into this funnel, I got into this program, I went over here, I took this course. How many of you been there? You took all the things, and then you just kind of get overwhelmed. So one of the things I wanted to do was to get back to basics. Somebody put that in the chat box. I decided, you know, you can take away all the Facebook, you can take away all the Instagram, you can take away all these things. But what is one of the most important things that you cannot buy? Money can't buy it. And that is authenticity. Because there's something special that happens. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you're going through something and you need a word of encouragement, or you need to just look at someone else that reminds you of yourself to know that you're not by yourself, and you don't want all the tech busy stuff. So I came from that background, my background of digital storytelling and UX design and media and all of that. But I said, I want in 2023 to bring women who have the heart and passion, because I want you to know something. We are about to go into an economic pivot, I call it, right? And in this economic pivot, we're either going to be ready or we're not. And I want you to be ready. And that's going to mean understanding how to use this social media, but also how to get your mind right, how to leave self-limiting beliefs and realize you can be an innovator in 2023. You can be an author. You can be a paid speaker. You can be a product producer. And so that is why I decided the theme for not only 2022, but moving into 2023 was going to be the best. And here's the last part. I realized I don't have to have a tribe. I could do what I'm doing professionally on my own. But you know what's beautiful? When you're climbing up a mountain and you look to your side and your sisters are there. I don't want to get to the top of the mountain and be there sick and burnt out. How many of you guys know what I mean? I want to be at the top of the mountain, but when I look to my left and I'm tired, I can see that Sandra Cheney is there. She's not gonna let me quit, right, Sandra? I can look to my right and I see Joy is there, because she's gonna be like, what you talking about, Dr. D? I came to give you joy. And I can look to my sisters and my friends and realize I don't have to do this alone. So please put that in the chat box. I don't have to do this alone. So today we're going to get a chance to open up this discussion. And this highlighted discussion is going to include our spotlight speakers. And definitely near the end, though, we will open it up for everyone to participate in this dialogue. So today I want to start off by having each spotlight speaker introduce themselves and to name what their business is. And I'm just going to call you by name. And once we've heard that, we're going to go to the next person so we can hear from everyone. Sharon, I see you first. Why don't you introduce yourself and the name of your business to all of us?
Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sharon Fortis. I live in Atlanta, but I'm from the Virgin Islands. My business is Alicia Consulting and Coaching. And I'm a wellness coach, so that's my focus, wellness and personal development.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I'm so glad you're in the house. All right, Sandra Cheney is in the house. I like to call her Miss New Yorker, and she knows why. It's a thing between us.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sandra Cheney, and my company is Sandra Cheney Enterprises. And I am a transformational coach, business strategist with a niche in the nonprofit world. So I help women leaders not only transform their lives, but also their businesses. And I help nonprofits become profitable and sustainable.
Thank you so much for being here. Just on yours, Ms. Joy. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, it's very early here. I guess not early, but
oh wait, because where are you at, Joy? Tell everybody.
I am in sunny San Diego, California, so I really can't complain because I know some of you all are probably dealing with weather that I could not imagine. I would literally
Yes, we're
cry.
jealous. We jealous.
Yes. So I am Joy of Just On Yours. I'm a speaker, coach, trainer, and facilitator. I partner with women, specifically women of color and communities of organizations that are struggling with the employee experience and how they handle the employee experience. So I come along to make effective and lasting changes to ensure dreams are becoming reality, really looking for that transformation in personal and professional lives.
Thank you so much for being here, Joy. So happy to meet you. Miss Teresa Noy, America's Divinity Coach. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to everyone. I am Teresa Noy, America's Divinity Coach, and I am the creator of the Personal Power Academy. And boss women who feel disconnected from their success work with me to deepen their connection with God, to reconnect with their dreams and leverage their emotions to create a rich, lush, fulfilled life that they absolutely adore.
Ooh, I want a rich, lush life. I love that. All right. Andrea Crenshaw.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrea Crenshaw, and I'm a wellness performance coach and strategist. I specifically love to serve those who love to serve others, specifically minorities, women of color, basically those of us who love to serve other people oftentimes don't learn to serve ourselves and take care of ourselves first. So consider a self-care plan on steroids is kind of my niche and what I love to do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Andrea. All right. Selena Teasley.
Good morning. I am Selena Teasley, and I'm also in Atlanta. I didn't know that, Sharon. So ATL. But I am a financial advisor with Applied Wealth Management, and I help women define their financial vision and then put a plan in place to hit it. So.
I mean, talk about some powerful women in the house, y'all. All right. Thank you so much, Selena. Nicole.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Wald. My business is Nicole Michelle. I'm the effective content coach. And my work is to support people like you who are showing up to make change for others in having your message show up. So I support mainly women, but also some men in upgrading their copy so you can maximize your impact, maximize your profit, and make the change in the world that you're designed to make.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Nicole. Kay Williams, how are you? Tell us where you're at, Kay, and what your business is about.
Hello, Dr. Allana. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Greetings to everyone from the island of Barbados. My name is Kay Williams. I'm so glad to be a part of this community. I met Dr. Allana through another business community in the middle of the pandemic.
Yes.
And that was a blessing. I am an attorney at law, but my passion is working with women to build generational wealth and to establish a generational wealth plan. I also am passionate of that we women, we tend to default to others and default to tomorrow, thinking that our legacy is something we leave behind. Our legacy is what we're standing in today. Each one of us powerful women here today, you are standing in your legacy today. And so I work with women to actualize that, realize that, and to plan for themselves and their future. Thank you.
And then Teresa says, my family is from Barbados, so you got a Bayesian sister.
Oh, wow.
All right, wonderful. Tamaya, how long have we known each other, love?
Forever. My kids were in elementary school and they're all college graduates now. So that gives you an idea of how long we've been knowing each other.
Wow.
A really long time. My name is Tamaya Tomlinson. I am in Atlanta. Hello, everybody. So nice to be a part of a tribe of such magnificent women. Y'all encourage me to just be better. I am a parenting guru, I guess I would call myself, because I do parenting courses for Atlanta Housing Authority for their Section 8 program.
Look at all the Atlanta people.
I also encourage mothers and fathers, if they want to be a part of the program, to become better and be the best for their families.
I love
that's what I do.
Thank you so much, Tamaya. We also have Anna. I don't know if you can hear us, but if you can, oh, I see you there.
Yep.
Okay. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Yes,
Let me say this about Anna, because she's one of our featured speakers. Anna is an amazing voice for the Latina community all throughout the country. And she, in her own right, I mean, is just an amazing boss here in Boston, but all over the country, and when it comes to leadership. And so, Anna, take it away.
Well, wow. Thank you, Dr. Allana. It is definitely an honor to be here with all of you amazing women. I'm listening to everything you're doing. So my name is Ana Jimenez, Afro-Latina from Boston, currently in San Francisco. But basically, I've really focused from a professional aspect. I've been in IT for over 30 years, so seasoned executive in the technology space. But where my passion really lies is on empowering and inspiring women leaders. And I speak a lot on leadership, on how to get through those troubled, conflicts that we all go through, right? How to survive the corporate world, how to thrive and how to succeed, and how to grow, right? How to build that posse of that tribe. I know, Dr. Allana, we have a tribe here. And so how to use that network to be able to help pull yourself forward and continue to help others lift as you're also lifting. And so it's very exciting to be here. I am an author, I'm a speaker, and just very focused on diversity and inclusion. And so happy to be here with all of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. And as you guys know, Patty Aubrey, who is part of the Canfield Group, and you guys, if you've ever heard of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, billion-dollar publishing industry, back when she was there from the beginning. She couldn't be here today, but she sends you guys a hello, and she is going to be visiting with us on the first night of our conference. So we are I'm doing cartwheels and super happy about all of these wonderful, amazing speakers. And so everyone here, thank you so much for being here. So we're going to open this discussion, and I'm just going to call on each spotlight speaker as I see fit. I'm going to start talking about, what's happening in terms of the economy and what we think the future holds for why it is important to budget. And Selena, I'm coming to you for a second, because I have to, and now you guys, the way to do this and make sure you have an engaging time, make sure whenever these women speak, share anything, encourage them, right? That's what it's all about. So I'm going to open this question. I'm going to ask to Selena and Kay Williams because I think it's fitting for them. But one of the things that I found to be most profound is that during the pandemic, there were people that had the bailout, and that was great. But who you got, but we had a large percentage of minority-owned businesses, A, did not receive funding, and B, many of them just felt overwhelmed about what to do, because a lot of people had if they had like businesses in their basement, for example, and they didn't have all the things set up correctly, they kind of were just like, what do I do? And my question to you is this: as people begin to plan for 2023, what are like the basic things? What's one basic thing that you think they should start to get together as they plan to move into 2023? Let's say they have debt, they're getting ready for the holidays, and y'all know what happens during the holidays, right? What I want to know from you two, what do you think are some of the most basic things someone can do to kind of prepare to shift gears so they can have more savings or think about their money differently? Selena, I'm going to start with you, and Kay, I'm going to refer to you after Selena.
That's a great question. The pandemic really showed that we're not prepared. Personally, with our business, we have to make sure that we're putting things in place so that when anything happens, we're prepared. And like Dr. Allana said, one of the things that we can do is make sure you have a spending plan. The holidays are coming up. This one, we really blow budgets. We want to have these big dinners. We want to do lavish gifts and things like that. But we start making these in the moment decisions, and we don't pay attention to our long-term goals. And so with my clients, I make sure that we clearly define your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to hit? And so going into 2023, this is a time that you really should be planning. What am I really trying to accomplish for 2023? Whether that's a savings goal, debt payoff goal, any type of financial goal, make sure that you're clear and you articulate what that goal is. You'll find that as we come up to the holidays, as we start spending this money, if it's not aligned with your goals, it's going to make you pause. Do I really have the room to spend $500 to $1,000 on gifts when I know I'm trying to get out of debt? Do I really have the room to do all of this other stuff when I know, just based on what happened in 2020, I have credit card debt that I'm trying to get out of, right? But it's hard to make those decisions if you haven't clearly identified your goals. And so that's the first thing I tell people to do. Just take a step back and identify, where are you trying to go? What are you trying to do? Having those decision points kind of makes it easy to say no to certain things, because it's not aligned in what you're trying to do long term. That's the biggest thing that I find, especially with women. We forgo what we need and what we know we need to do for others because it's really not clearly defined. We don't take the time to say, what do I need to do to make sure I'm in a better place in 6 months and 12 months?
Wow, thank you. I mean, I got my notes down. Wasn't that good, y'all? Thank you, Selena, for sharing that. I love it. I like what she says is like to ask ourselves the question, what do I have room for? And that's a great question, because usually, I'm just going to be honest, sometimes people just say, oh, it's Christmas and I'm going to just go all in and I'll start fresh in January. But to have a little bit of an idea is best. Kay Williams, what's your take?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Allana. And what Selena says is so important. A plan, many times we think that a plan restricts us, but your plan frees you. And I'll tell you why. When you know exactly the direction in which you're going, it really helps you with every step that you're going to be making, every deliberate step you're going to make in 2023. For me, as a generational wealth strategist, because I work with women to plan long-term for themselves, their families, their whatever it is, whatever that goal is, whether it be their families and their grandchildren, or whether it be for themselves. I want to do a bucket list and travel when I retire. Because I'm dealing with long-term generational wealth goals, one of the things that I actually do is I actually tell them right away, stop. You'll never hear this from an attorney, but I'm going to tell you, find your joy. What? Find your joy. Because, first of all, less than 25% of women like to talk about money or deal with money. That's the first thing. Secondly, studies have shown that from CEOs down to hourly paid workers, in general, women are earning 30% less from the top to the bottom. So we take 30% less into retirement. And yet, you know what? We not only make it work, half the times, we're the armor bearer for the entire family with 30% less. We do amazing things. Imagine when you add a plan to that, how much more powerful you can be. So the first thing I do is I tell them, find the things that make you happy, find your joy, the things that don't cost a lot of money. Because the first thing I need you to do is to be happy with what you have until you get where you want to go. So if you're dealing with generational wealth and you know it's long-term, I don't want you to be slogging away and slogging away. We all know an auntie, granny, mommy that, you know, she never really got to enjoy life. But we also know the auntie, mommy, granny that laughed all the way, whether she had it or not. And I first thing I do for 2023 is find your center, find your joy. And while you're working on your plans, long-term plans, be happy with what you have until you get what you want.
Woo, well, thank you so much. I mean, y'all, is this not a great session we're all having? Thank you so much, Kay, for mentioning that. And also, that statistic, I did not know that women are being paid like 30% lower than what they should be?
In general, yes, we earn 30% less, not because we're not working, not because we work 30% less than everyone else. 10 to 1, we're doing 110%. But statistics show that in general, we have about 30% less going into retirement. And yet we do amazing things. We all know the mothers and the aunts and the amazing women in our lives, and they all do amazing things, and we're doing amazing things now. But yes, in general, we earn about a third less in our both professional and academic, and whether we are hourly paid, skilled workers, on average, we earn about a third less.
Woo! I mean, I could just turn off my video right now and change some of my contracts. Let me go and I'm just kidding. Thank you, Kay. And I also, sometimes too, I'm appreciative of both of you, because even when people will come and meet with me and I would talk about business goals, sometimes we whisper our goals because we don't really sometimes it's hard to believe that, you know what, I am worth more than I've been giving myself credit for. And I thank you for sharing that, Kay. So it kind of also leads me to sometimes too, if we're in a relationship, we'll say, oh, I'll defer to my spouse, and how many stories do we know? I know of many of that deferment. And then if something unfortunately happens and it's like, oh, wait, what do I do? I'm like, no, ladies, we got to have our stuff together, whether you're married or not, or, because you want to make sure that you have that security as well, right? So thank you. That was so well said, which kind of leads me to moving on. I want to talk about joy, and I'm going to start with joy because it just goes along. I love how Kay talked about how important it is to find the joy. And I want to just ask this question, and I want to open it up to Joy, Tamaya, and Teresa. So the question is, a lot of times people don't talk about how much stress and depression actually happens around this time of year. I don't know if you got, because sometimes this time of year is weighty on a lot of people for a lot of reasons. Sometimes the holidays in general, maybe there are people in our lives that were in our lives, are no longer in our lives. Maybe they have, transitioned from the planet, or maybe relationships have ended. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna tell y'all this transparent story and then I'll open it up to them. I remember, now no one told me when I got married, I had to cook 3 meals a day. No one told me I had to be this perfect person. Hubster definitely wasn't that way, but I don't know what happened. It was like I got married, and when I got to my 3rd year, you guys are gonna laugh at this story, and I definitely want y'all to give feedback. But anyway, I get married and I'm like, I need to be the perfect wife and the perfect professional. So I'm going to cook 3 meals a day on Saturday, 3 meals a day on Sunday. I'm going to cook fresh meals, no leftovers. I'm going to work. So anyway, I go to the university to go and teach. I come home and I have my computer open. I'm just painting a picture for y'all. I have my computer open and I have a frozen chicken next to the stove. And I'm telling myself that because I need to be this perfect person, I'm gonna thaw out this chicken. I'm gonna finish grading all like 60 papers, and I'm gonna and it was like 4:30, and Hubster was coming home for 6:30. So I was gonna do all of this somehow by 6:15. Okay, let me just tell y'all. So it's 5:45. I've got a raw chicken trying to thaw out in the microwave. I'm in my computer trying to grade, and then Hubster comes home early. So I just look at him like he's like, what is going? So I have a fork and some kind of knife because I still need to fry this raw frozen chicken together. And I got my computer on the table, and he comes in, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Shoot. I can't be everything. I can't be everything. It's like nobody's to say. Like you just made something in your mind, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this is me. I'm not that person that's gonna be cooking 3 times a day. I don't want to. I know how to cook, but I don't have to. Like, I want y'all to do you guys understand like these roles that we have in our heads sometimes are so strong, like that you forget joy, and you forget because many of you are parents. So I can only imagine that you're managing, running around. If you had you remember when you had your children younger, or they're getting older now, or you have a spouse, or you have work responsibilities, and you're giving to all those things. And then somehow joy is like out the window. Like I was not having fun. And my opening question is, what could you say to individuals today about like finding their happy place? You know, as we think about 2023, let's just say they feel overwhelmed, lost, maybe they gained some weight over the past year, maybe they're just not happy. What would be one of the first things you would tell someone to do to kind of get on track with their happiness, their happy place? Joy, I'm gonna open it up with you.
First, so I'm a praying girl, I'm a believer. So first and foremost, I would let people know, kind of sit and pray on it and be okay with where you're at. Like identify where you're at. When we're at the mall, we're somewhere, I'm a shopper. When you're trying to get to one end of the mall, you need that "you are here" sticker to know how I get to that store. First, understanding where you are, and then what everybody is passionate about is their dream. So trying to pivot their mindset, because we get stuck in the present and money's funny, the husband's a trip, kids is cutting up, like whatever it might be. Try to really redirect them to something that is encouraging and motivating, and really work on like, what is your dream? Will you achieve it in this lifetime with the way that you're thinking now? Most of them say, yeah, I will. But will you? Like, are you really going to? My daughter she has that little tone where, are you? And it makes you stop to question, like, am I really going to do this? And I look at it as kind of understanding, helping to understand the 5 common reasons why people, don't achieve their dream is really just discouragement from their dreams by someone else. So someone's putting you down, so you get distracted. That adds to your depression. And really understanding the dream crushers that are in their life. Hindrance of past disappointments. I didn't do it right, so let me move forward with, something else, or let me drop that because I didn't get it. Habits, settling for average. We tend to just settle and be like, I'm good, but you're meant to be great. God designed you to leave an impact in something better. So why are we settling for good? And really I want you to be above average. I want you to be the extra of extraordinary. Really lacking that confidence that people, lack, understanding that it is okay. I forgot who it was that said, the guru, own that. I think it was Tamaya. Girl, own that. Don't be like, I'm going to say, no, we just going to say guru. And then just, some people lacking that imagination to dream. Be okay with embracing that dream and speaking it into fruition and bringing it out and saying it. Because what you say to yourself, that inner chatter, when you bring it out, it comes to light. So that's just kind of my initial start, and then we'll go from there. But that's what I would say. I would redirect.
Joy, you're going to get me running around my place 3 times. All right. Well, I'm going to open it up to Teresa. Sure. Share your take on it and go for it.
Yes. So I resonate with everything everyone has already said. As women, we're more likely than men to report having a great deal of stress. Moms will be more tired and stressed and unhappy than fathers. Professional women will experience more stress and anxiety and psychological distress than men. And we just over accommodate as women. We over accommodate other people's needs and under accommodate our needs. And we're fully aware that we're doing this, right? We're constantly putting ourselves at the bottom of the list, and we feel the stress, we feel the overwhelm, we see the burnout, and oftentimes we continue to neglect ourselves because we have a mindset that has been created in our society that expects women to give and to give and to give without acknowledging what they need. So important, first of all, to come into this awareness of that. I think that's the biggest piece, first of all, is to develop this consciousness and to understand that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that your needs are important, are more important than everyone else's, because just like when you're in the airplane, they tell you to put your mask on first, right? Before you take care of other people. So living with this awareness of that and being very deliberate and intentional and creating opportunities that you're pouring into yourself first, I think is so important, and giving yourself permission to do that. So I wanted to say that about the women. As far as, how do you move yourself from this place of despondency and not feeling joy? I would say there are the two most powerful emotions to move yourself up the emotional scale are gratitude and pride, feeling proud. Gratitude, allowing yourself to feel, not just think of, oh, I'm grateful for this, but really, because everything that we have is already within. So really tapping within yourself and bringing the feeling of gratitude for even the smallest little thing. I'm drinking this hot tea in my alumni cup from Hampton University, and I just am so grateful for that. And I just bring the feeling of gratitude. And when you develop that practice for feeling grateful for every little thing, that moves you incrementally to a different place up the emotional scale. The other thing I would say is being proud. What are you proud of? What can you celebrate? So often we focus on the things that we don't have, what we're not doing right? And we miss the opportunities just to celebrate ourselves. So again, reconnecting to that feeling of pride. I am proud. I did this. This was hard, but I did that. I was scared, but I did it anyway. I'm proud of that. I've been investing in all of these people. I'm proud of that. What are you proud of? And be consistent in focusing on the things that you're proud of on a regular basis. So when you develop those practices, you can move yourself to a different place, and you're not depending on some external circumstance, because that's the thing. We so often depend on something external to make us feel happy, but understanding that you have the power within you to pull out the feeling of joy, and gratitude and pride are the two things.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I mean, the reminders of being grateful for the little things, and also saying, I did do that. I raised those kids. I finished that degree. I did X, Y, and Z. So thank you. So beautifully said. Well, I want to move on to another topic, which is, when we think about growing in our leadership and growing, we have to overcome our challenges. So I first want to ask Sharon this question, and then I'm going to move to Sandra. So Sharon, have you ever gone through anything that kind of made you feel like you just wanted to quit? And how did you, what did you do to get out of that, to be back on your own path towards making your dreams happen?
Wow, good question. I have felt like I wanted to quit so many times, but I'm motivated and inspired from every woman that spoke, that is speaking now, because everything from every woman is like, I resonate with everything. Now, it wasn't until I was 40, first of all, and it's even hard to believe that I asked myself, what do I want? I literally really did ask myself, what do I want? Because really what I was doing as a wife, a teacher, a parent, I was more like doing for others, and more trying to please others, more trying to do things. Yeah, instead of really I was afraid to be myself or do what I want to do and say what I want to say, because you know how I was conditioned. So when I was 40, I asked myself, what do I really want to do? And then from there, that's how I knew I wasn't going to give up, because something magical happened around that time. I started to, think differently. So my mindset changed. I had this growth mindset. And after that, I was more like, it's like getting to know me. This is, who I am. So, and then getting to know what I really love. So that's what helped me to get out. The joy, yeah, finding the joy and being myself.
But I also think too, like that idea of having a moment and being like, wait a minute, I'm about to turn 40 or I'm about to turn whatever the age is. And what do I want this next chapter in my life to look like? So I appreciate you going through the motions of that and trying to figure out what your next is. So I want to move on to Sandra, because it's interesting, Sandra, when we first connected, that you are already a boss in your own right. So it's kind of like, I want to ask you, sometimes when we are very good at what we do, sometimes it's difficult to ask for help. How did you kind of give yourself permission to be okay with not always feeling like you have to know everything, right? And then how do you kind of give women hope to know there is money out there for your business? You don't have to struggle. If you want to start a nonprofit, come on, let's do it, because that's your thing. So you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, Sandra, but I just want to hear from you, your perspective of that.
So thank you, Dr. D. That asking for help, wow. Yeah, I'm still on that journey, to be quite honest. And it's true when you think that, not that I have all the answers, because we don't, but when you do know you're a genius, when you do know that you're a guru, sometimes you feel like, if I go ask, I'm going to use Teresa for help, she's going to think, well, I thought you knew everything. That was always in my head, right? And because we think that way. Well, if you're the guru, then why are you coming to ask me? And the truth of the matter is, that is conditioning. Literally, we don't have all the answers, and you do need someone to come along and help you, because otherwise, if you continue to do it, and I'm a perfect example of that, on your own, you're going to burn, you're going to crash, something's going to happen. You're going to burn, you're going to crash, and you're going to be on your butt. You're going to be looking up at God like, well, what happened? And he's going to be looking like, well, you didn't ask for help. And so for me, it was a matter of trusting and pushing past what I thought might be rejection, because we don't like to be rejected. We think that somebody else is going to reject us, and we don't know until we ask them. We're already projecting on them what we think they're going to say. So I had to let that go. And I was put in positions to have to ask people for help. And I was pleasantly surprised when they all were like, well, we were waiting on you, right? We were waiting on you. We weren't going to, infuse ourselves until you opened your mouth. And so it was a scary thing for me, but there was no way I could stay like that. I just couldn't do it. I get trying to cook the chicken, have the computer, do a business, all of that. And even now, the position I'm in now with how my business is going, I have to ask for help, literally, in this phase of my life. Because how can I teach another woman who wants to start a nonprofit what she needs to do if I first am not doing it myself?
Ooh, you can say that.
So in terms of getting money, I can show you all day long how to do that. But how come I'm not doing it for me first?
Ooh.
So I went and started getting grants for myself and my business first, because that way I can tell you what I did, how I did it, show you how to do it. And so that for me was what I had to do. That was the asking for help, that was getting the mentors, because we need them, that was doing all those things. And now I can tell you, yes, you can get money for your business. Don't be afraid to come and ask.
Wait, I need you to say that slow and one more time, because no, and I mean it. I'm gonna stretch this out a bit, because I'm telling y'all, I sat in a room after the pandemic where the city of Boston was saying that there were millions of dollars available. And I knew that I couldn't tell other businesses because they just didn't qualify. And I need you to say this again, because just because you don't have the stuff together yet doesn't mean that it's not available for you. So if you're watching now or later, sometimes you need a Sandra in your life to remind you it's available. You can apply. I know it seems simple, but
yeah, but it does seem simple, but it's to someone who is overwhelmed is not simple, because you don't have, I think it was Kay that talked about, trying to have your things together, but it's about what brings you joy. And that is true. So you do need to ask for help. What are the simple things that you need to do in order to get yourself together? Can I tell you, in the pandemic, I received loads of money that I didn't think I could get. And I was like, well, I don't know. And I was overwhelmed, but I asked for help. And the simplest things that I was already doing is how I got the money. But it's because someone showed me how to do it. And so you do need to ask for help, because the money is truly out there for you to get. But if you don't open your mouth to say, hey, I need some help, we're not going to know. It's loads of money. When I tell you loads that are coming down the pike now. And
I need to freeze you right there, because I need us to swallow that. I'm just swallowing it all. And I want to say, Sandra, thank you so much.
Yes.
And everyone, thank you so much for what you're sharing. So I want to transition, because I know that Andrea Crenshaw is all about self-care. And I always like her to share the story, because I just think it's a testament to asking for help. Andrea, can you share how we met? And also when you took your pause, because you're a boss at what you're doing right now. I would love for you to share people how you were in that moment of transition, how we met, but then how you were able in your own right to think about what your next was. And so can you share that with all of us?
Sure, thank you. So I met Dr. D in the middle of the pandemic in these internet streets, actually on LinkedIn. Happened to see a post by Mark Cuban, and she replied, and I just liked her response. I liked her attitude, her perspective, and I just happened to connect with her. And instantly when we got on camera together, it was just like, this is family. This is my long lost friend, cousin, sister, a leader, a boss lady. And I basically it was just kindred spirit. So it was very, very encouraging. And I was out looking for people to connect with that were like-minded, because I basically, we talk about the Great Resignation now, which is kind of blows my mind in a bit. I left the corporate world well before the pandemic started, because I was in a group where I just knew that I had more to give, and I felt like I had digressed to playing high school games. That I was like, I have more to serve. I can't be here in this type of atmosphere. The culture was terrible. So I left without having a job. And I took a moment to just really figure out, first of all, to get all the noise and all the clutter out of my head. I like to declutter before I start adding other things. So I'm like, okay, from relationships to perspectives to things that we're conditioned to just believe, I started breaking down, like, where did some of these things come from? Why have I always thought this way? Where are these unwritten rules that we are supposed to act in this way and supposed to, So I took some time to break a lot of that down so that I could hear my own self and let my own beliefs come to rise above all the other clutter. And I know that one thing I've, had a problem with in the past is being isolated, staying to myself. I knew that was something I needed to break out of. So definitely met Dr. D, and we had a lot of discussions. And every time we got on the phone together or in a video, it was just, I felt so alive, and I felt more myself than I did when I was alone. So I was like, okay, so I started letting that sink in. And I really just took some time to be still. We talked about that before. It's so important to be still and to stop all those other voices so you can let that stuff rise to the top, figure out who really am I? What are truly my beliefs? And I've been saying, if somebody asks you, well, what are your values? Oh, we always say God and family and this and that, but where are you spending your time and your money and your energy? Because you can list all these things, but what you're actually doing with yourself will really tell you the truth. And so that's kind of where I got into this core authentics. Like, what is the true core of who you are? And are you being authentic to what the core of your values are? Not what your mama's values are, what, these people say that, what is it for you? So that was part of my story, just taking some time to really allow that to come to surface. It was super important for me.
And I just love your example because, how many of you are working a full-time job, or you're a leader in your own right in wherever industry you're in? I feel like, whether you are a professional and you're an entrepreneur at your company, these things that Andrea is saying that we're all sharing, you can take this with you at the work front, or you can take it with you in entrepreneurship. To me, until you feel 5-star, it's hard to charge 5-star in all that you're trying to do. And there's just something that happens that becomes infectious, where you will draw people to you, because as Kay said, and everyone else, as Joy said, when you operate from a level of joy, how many of you sense my happiness anytime I talk to you on the phone or anytime you see me? Like, it's not fake. Even when I would be in my classroom, I was that professor that my students would be at the door like 30 minutes before class, because they're like, you always smiling. And that smile comes from a place of those pits I was in. That smile wasn't always there, but I remember working jobs, wondering if my dream of being a business owner could ever happen. I remember people telling me I was crazy for thinking I could run a business like the one I'm running right now. Even when things look like they're a success, doesn't always mean they are. I was working in television where people were owning 3 and 4 homes. And when I said, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this, it's not exciting to me. And they're like, what? Why would you leave this industry? But I'm so glad I did. Yes, I left that to take a job that was giving me $13 an hour. I didn't care. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to wake up and just love life. And not to say that entrepreneurship is always easy, because I do have my days, but I tell you, when I look down and I go, oh, there's a pop-up today. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm just so happy. So, I'm going to see Selena or I'm going to see Tamaya. I just feel so much joy. And so moving on, I want to make sure that I called on every spotlight speaker. Is there anyone that I did not call? Oh, there's 2 people. Okay, because I couldn't see you down there, guys. I'm so sorry. So I want to talk to Tamaya, and then Nicole, we're going to come to you. Tamaya, why don't you, it's up to you, but your resilience as a mom, and then being, I can't remember what was donated to you. I can't remember, but that story of your resilience and just who you are, and me as your professor for goodness, however many years, 14 years, to see you grow and to see your children now go all the way through college. You and Tamaya, while she was raising her kids, she was one of those students that was in the front of the classroom, had her homework already done, would open the door for me. Like, she was just one of those model students. So Tamaya, why don't you talk to, I really want you to share to people who might be moms or kind of in that hustle, trying to get their professional degree and trying to get life going. How do they balance all of that in the midst of challenge? What's your advice? One tip you would give to a mom that might be just like you, going through the same thing?
One tip I would give to a mom, which I wish somebody had given this tip to me when I was in that place. Take care of you first. Take care of yourself. Number 1 is yourself. I wake up every day now and say, I am the most important thing to me. And sometimes I have to say it 10 times a day, because I will get off track and start doing things for other people. Now that my children are grown and they recently moved out, Dr. D, twins are gone. I'm home by myself now. But I wish that someone
coming to join you.
Come on. I wish that I had someone like me to be there for me at that time. At the age of 31, my children were in elementary school. I was in school and I was diagnosed with kidney failure. That was like, to me, when I heard the word kidney failure, I'm thinking in my mind death automatically. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I had to really gather myself and say, I want to be here for my children. I want to be here for my family. So I first had to take care of myself. I had to put on a brave face, even though I was so scared. And I had to put on that face for my kids, show them how to continue on, be resilient. I didn't want them to be afraid. And the reason I always had my work done on time or in advance, and I was always so bubbly, because me and my children, we competed. We would put our grades on the refrigerator and we would go back and forth. And I'm like, if I can do it and I got to take care of you three, you can definitely do it, because all you're responsible for is doing your work at school. That's it. So, and keeping your room clean. But that was their motivation to push through any adversities that they had, because they knew that, hey, mom said if she can do it and she got us plus dad plus a house, car, work, then we can definitely do it. And my oldest daughter recently told me that that's what pushed her so far, is to know that if I could do it with everything that I had going on, she's only responsible for herself and being a student and going to work. She said, Mom, if you could do all of that, I know I can do it. And she's in occupational therapy school now, so going to her next level in her career. And I'm so proud to say that as a mom, the resilience, the perseverance, and the support that I had from those people around me, especially Dr. D, pushing me and telling me, you have so much inside of you, I can see it, and I can't wait till you can see it. So it really, really helped me to have that circle of people who push me further. So I would definitely say, take care of you first, and everything else will fall in line.
Wow, thank you so much, Tamaya. Well said, and what a story of resilience. We can't wait to have you be a part of the conference again this year. And she was actually able, when she came to the conference, she was actually able to meet her donor family. So I thought that was absolutely amazing. What was that like? I mean, you had the conference and then you went to go and meet.
Oh my God, that was like the most exciting weekend of my entire life.
Wow.
I didn't know that they lived in Boston. Right before I came to the conference, I received an email back from my donor's mom, and she said that they lived in Weymouth. It's a small town. And I was like, is that in Massachusetts? I said, well, I'm going to be in Boston this weekend. And they were like, oh, we're going to come to the city and meet you. And it was like the perfect situation. I was like, this is nobody but God,
Wow. Well, thank you
it was wonderful.
Because I want to say, you guys don't see all the emails that flood into Tolji, but there are some women that are fighting, right? They are fighting different things. And like, I want you to know, you might not feel it, but to someone else, you could be their dream. Like, you might be going through what Tamaya is going through, but just seeing her and hearing her story, that's why our stories of courage, which you will hear at our conference, that's why it's so important to hear these stories. It's important to hear her story of resilience, how she was able to raise her children. It's important for America's Divinity Coach to remind us, calm. I love how calm she's like, calm down, get back to center, come back to God. Like, I'm a believer too. So in my mind, I say, when we feel our best, when we can look out and I can see joy, and there's something in me that wants the best for her, that there is nothing more transformative to me than that. No, the hour I spent becoming my best, hearing how someone persisted to be their best, even when they didn't have the best circumstance, to me is the most valuable, precious time that you could spend, because the misnomer of social media is that because you got all these followers and likes and clicks, that we're having authenticity, and that's just not true. That's why I tell all my leaders and entrepreneurs, do not focus on all the followers and the numbers. I would rather have 70 people who knew what I was about and loved me and could understand what I want to do to serve the world than 10,000 people who are bots that I bought or just looks like something. And today's conversation to me is so meaningful and so healing, because I don't know about you, but you definitely are going to want to play the replay. And Nicole, I'm coming to you, but you're going to want to play the replay, because every single person that's speaking today has a story of courage, has an answer. And it might not be me that has your answer. It could be Joy. It could be Sandra. It could be Selena. It could be Nicole. It could be Karen once we get her all up in the tribe, right, Karen? It could be any of these beautiful people. And I want you to put in the chat box the word tribe, because one thing I've been announcing is that one of the fastest ways to grow in your passion and purpose is by linking up. And one thing I said in 2023, I want to see more leaders speaking. I want to see more people activated, and we're doing partnerships. And if you like today, even if you're new, I want you to email me, how can I get involved? Because I want to have Iwbcc members in every state in this country. And I want to see that activated, right? And so we've got people in California, we've got people in South Africa, we've got people all over the world that are part of this tribe and community. Which leads me to my next point. And this is where Nicole's going to come in. You know, sometimes when we're thinking about all the events we plan and we think about, inviting people to things, we often don't think about the copy. We don't think about how we need to craft our message in such a way that people will want to click, that people will want to book an appointment. And Nicole, I know she's talking to her daughter. Now, you ready, Nicole?
I'm sure.
Okay.
What,
so why don't you,
ready as ever be.
Okay. Why don't you share with us maybe one tip about why someone would think about upgrading their email communication or what they've got going on their website in terms of copy?
Sure. Well, here's the thing. When you start to show up in the world, you start to kind of you get to the point where you go, okay, I'm going to do something, which that in and of itself is a heroic effort, just going to that step of, all right, I'm going to get out there and do something. Then you've got to show the world who you are, right? And one of the most powerful ways that we do that is through our words. Words, especially today, more today actually than ever in history. Our words are what define us for a lot of people. They're how a lot of people meet you first. Andrea met Dr. Allana because of her words, right? They are what most people will meet you the first time through your website, through your social media, through your, you name it. It's going to be some words that bring them to you. And what I see a lot of times, whether it's, and I work with hundreds of coaches and freelancers and small business owners. Sorry, this is Leo, by the way. Hi, Leo. He's got a little bit of a fever today, so he's not letting me put him down. So anyhow, so what I see with all these people, and amazing people, they have these powerful things to bring to the world, but they're struggling to get customers, they're struggling to get the sales they deserve. Why? It's because their email, their copy, their emails they're writing, they might look and sound a little bit amateur. They might miss the mark. They might be confusing. They might have grammar errors. And so their ideal clients kind of dismiss them somehow, or they can't find them, or they're turned off when they do find them. And again, I see this happening with five-figure, or six-figure, or seven-figure, even eight-figure businesses I've worked with to have these same challenges. And it doesn't have to be that way. Your copy can show up like a boss. It can be your best employee. It can work around the clock 24/7, get more people signed up for your signature programs, get potential customers to kind of click sign me up. Or if you're kind of someone who's a nonprofit heart, which I have, I've done most of my work in my life has been for nonprofits and teachers. And it brings more people to your program so that you can help more people.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I
kind of
appreciate you. She is the real deal, guys. I know that for a fact. So what I want to say is, it's okay to ask for help. And that's what a good tribe is all about, is that, it's kind of like you have a hand with different fingers, and it's just like, I need this help today. I need that help today. So I want to transition here because I know all of our spotlight speakers have been speaking, but I do want to make room. If you guys just hold on for a few moments, I will also say after this meeting is over, we will need about just 13 minutes or so for all of our spotlight speakers to hang on, just so I can tell you what the last step is before our conference. If you don't mind waiting, that'll be great. But I want to open the floor for any of our visitors to share any ahas you got from today. And hopefully, I know sometimes you're shy because it's like, I've never done this before, but we would love to hear from you. So anybody who's new, want to share anything, any takeaways? Any feelings about coming today?
Yeah, hello?
Hi, Latia.
Okay. Hi, my name's Latia again. I'm from Boston. My takeaway today is that, I was already starting to journaling and doing all these different things, but today just raised my hairs on my little chins and, just trying to figure out ways to like, what am I going to be accomplishing in 2023? What is my joy and what am I proud of? Because I am one of those people who I will praise everybody else, tell them what to do. You need to do this, but when somebody do it to me, I'm like, no, I'm okay. That's all right, and just being really humble and just being able to like say, hey, this is what you need to speak your truth. This is where you need to, this is what you need to do. Stop holding yourself back because you always give people everything, all the tools that they need. What are the tools that you need for yourself? So yeah, that was a takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being in the tribe, because I know sometimes, it's like a new experience. And Latia, how have you felt since you've been coming to our Boston events? By the way, if you're in Boston, we have a pop-up. You guys are also here. You can come to this meeting tomorrow night called Business Basics. If you are trying to just get your basics together for your business, let us know. If you want to come by just putting Boston Basics below, and we'll send you information for that. Also, if you want to come to the conference, make sure that you get the early bird ticket because it is available. Put conference ticket below if you need information about how to order your ticket, but we're super excited. I want to say, anybody else before I close this out so we can just hang around with the spotlight speakers? Jacqueline Chambers, oh, I see you're in the house. Jacqueline, turn your camera on. So good to see you. New to the tribe, welcome. There you go. Let me see another Atlanta person, right?
Yes.
We got Atlanta in the house deep, huh? All right. So tell me, Jacqueline, how have you felt since we connected? Another Spark member.
I am so excited. I mean, it's even more evident to me that I am in the right place. Every time I expose myself to this tribe, every time I expose myself to my tribe.
That's right. Okay. Change the language. Change the language. That's right.
Oh my gosh. I'm just, I get more validation that I'm doing the right thing and that, timing is everything, that I waited and responded at the right time. I got on a little late today because I was doing what I love to do, encouraging someone.
Yes.
And at some point, I know that I will see the financial gain, but right now I'm fine practicing what my passion is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got on just in time to hear the last two speakers, and it just validated everything that I've been sharing with that person that I was spending time with this morning. So again, I'm overjoyed. I really am. I am excited. I have great expectation. I can't wait to just spill all of me and allow y'all to just spill onto me. I mean, we just gonna be one big mess, okay? And and I know it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be great. I can feel the good energy. I already have people in mind that I want to expose to this tribe. So yeah, it's just great. It's just great. My takeaway is it's great. It feels great. And I don't have enough words to explain how great it feels. That's my takeaway.
Jacqueline, I appreciate you and welcome to your tribe. I also want to let you guys know that we do have men in our tribe. I know we are 97% female, but we do have men. And can you guys just give me a quick second to share one of our wins that we just had with one of our male members. So he came to my office and we were talking about his goals, and he lets me share the story. And right after he's done, he says, Dr. D, I just feel like I could just, and he just starts boo-hooing till he cannot stop crying. I'm like, what? And he said, something happens when you convey your dream and vision and somebody can hear it and hear it validated. He said, and this man, very well established, right? But something happens when you feel safe enough that you can finally come someplace where nobody's pulling your leg, or there's not, you guys know what I mean? And so I just want you to know, I am just as, I feel just as honored as you feel in this tribe. And I tell you one thing, if you feel what you feel virtually, just wait until you come to Boston, because it's gonna be fireful. I'll put it that way. When we had our event at the Hyatt Regency here in Boston, right after the pandemic, I wanted to bless the tribe. So we had a chef and we had all these, we treated them 5-star. We had people from Texas fly in. And when I tell you the elevators open and people could not stop crying, it was absolutely amazing. So get ready. If you wanted to be activated, somebody put activate me, Dr. D. I don't want you to have to stress and figure out how to elevate or scale financially. You don't have to do it by yourself. Did you know that when you refer your friends, you can get up to 30% of any of our ticket sales or any of the deposits of our coaching program. So there's opportunity for you all day long. There's other opportunities for you to become a speaker, a leader, and somebody please put certification in the chat box. We're kickstarting our very first Spark certification. That means that for those who want to become Spark coaches, like if you like the trainings we're doing today, we're going to be launching some new leaders. And that might mean that they might be in the financial industry. They might be in different industries. So if you want to learn more about how to get involved, how to scale financially, we're probably going to have another partnership meeting sometime before the new year. So we've had a good one. You guys are sending me your proposals. I appreciate you. But as we wrap up this meeting, I just want to say, let me just change my speaker view for a second. And I promise you guys we will be wrapped up and ready to go by 12:35. All right. So I want to say, first of all, hopefully you got your book, Upgrade My Life in Biz, paperback, Amazon bestseller. Look, I want you to completely have an amazing year in 2023. And I know that that can only happen by strategizing and being intentional. Number 2, I want you to meet new people. So in this moment, right here in the chat box, I love when you stay till the end. Please share one link, right? We don't want to have 5, but share one link in the chat box right now that you want others to follow you with, whether that's on LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever. Put your link there so people can find you and follow you. All right, because that's what this is all about. And also, if you're in my tribe already, you're a Spark member, you're in coaching, hey, I'm super proud that you are. There's going to be a couple of messages sent out to you very soon. If you want to understand how to be a Spark member, let me know. We have a lot of pathways. Look, it's absolutely free to be in Iwbcc. You don't have to pay anything. When I started this business, that was something I said, I'm never going to charge anybody to be in the Iwbcc community. But if you're really ready to upgrade, then let me know and let's see what plan we can put you on to get you started and having a plan in place for 2023. Well, I want to wrap this up by saying, guys, were these spotlight speakers amazing or what? Now, if you haven't done so, make sure you register to attend the Iwbcc conference happening December 9th and 10th, where these wonderful ladies, leaders, and entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs will share from the virtual stage their story of courage, and they have so many things to share with you, to offer to you. So I want to send you a big virtual applause. Let's give them a virtual applause for every speaker who spoke today. And I also want to give you a virtual applause if you're new. Thank you so much for joining us. Latia, thank you for joining us. Darnell, thank you for joining us for the first time. Karen Cuff, all the way in Jamaica, thank you for joining us. Please thank Pam, my success team member, keeping everything organized and ready to go. Thank you so much, Pam. And thank you guys for just showing up and just really showing your enthusiasm for Iwbcc and the Be the Best series. I can't wait to see you again. So I'm going to ask all of our guests to exit on out. We appreciate you. Again, if you want to come to the pop-up tomorrow, Business Basics, just let us know, okay? And I'll definitely send you that invite for tomorrow. It'll be in the evening. And other than that, the next time we meet will be during the Iwbcc conference. So stay tuned so you can learn how to be a part of that experience. And I thank you so much for being a part of the International Women Build Confidence Conference. Take care. And spotlight speakers, you can